You find yourself creeping down the halls of a cybernetic testing base. The halls slowly start to blink, transforming into glowing beacons made of boards and lights. They guide you deeper and deeper into the strange facility. The guards become more common as you blow them away like leaves in the wind. Effortless. Things start getting strange. You find a machine and it has an ominous red glow. As you curiously inspect it, a blinding flashing light sears your eyes. Everything spirals and you dip into a new realm. Nothing like the realm of ours. The halls, or humans, are long gone, and you're hiking around a desolate landscape in the plains of hell. Cathedrals are looking oppressively over you, and the battlefield grows as hordes of the demented come funneling in, ready to snap you with their dagger-like jaws. It's time. Quake is timeless. If this were to be a modern indie title, I'd believe it. It puts other new era boomer shooters to shame. The level design is superb, thought out, tight, purposeful, and respects your time. Enemy placement never felt like filler, and is always planned for the next set piece. I'd even go as far to say that Quake holds up to any level in Black Mesa, pre-Zen. I know that's a big claim, but I'm willing to scrap on that hill, backbreaker and all. I was never bored with the enemy variety, even with there being only 13 kinds of critters. It manages to do things that modern AAA titles just can't. It's never the amount, but how you use them. Other games' lack of proper placement shows just how an optimized, rushed, and thrown around without thinking hurts the overall experience. It's the detailed planning that separates games like Quake into classics, or well done and well hidden. I required multiple run-throughs to find them, and it really encourages exploring on higher difficulties where those items are much more valued. Let's talk about the ambushes in this game. They're frantic and fantastic. I love how when you're pushed into fight or flight, you have to make quick-second decisions that may not be the wisest choice in the spur of the moment, especially in regards to the flight aspect. Whenever a flight wins, it ends up becoming a frenzied rush to gain solid ground. You're sinking in quicksand and somehow trying to breathe underwater. You're desperately running around the arena trying to catch your breath while another swarm comes like a never-ending wave. Always being pushed forward, always being pushed backwards. There is no ebb or flow, just thrashing and grasping for breath. The game respects and acknowledges that you can handle a tougher fight, and it punishes you, believe me, but it never sends you over a frustrating ledge, leaving you to drown in the murky depths. Having low health and desperation set in is such a great feeling. Having to make every rocket count when you only have 10 left is such a rush. Being on the brink of death with 20 HP and a dream just hammering through, not knowing exactly when it's going to end, is such a nice thrill, and it only gets better as the game progresses. The AI never felt too simple. You could still cheese certain situations, but it's at the cost of your own enjoyment. It rarely happens, but when it does happen, it can be the perfect setup to give some much needed leverage to rush to the end of the level by the skin of your teeth. I'd recommend them, just use them sparingly. The music has some real highs. It's wacky and aggressive while also being haunting. The atmosphere is Evil Cathedral, who would have guessed. The guns sound okay. Actually kinda mediocre. Out of everything, they show their age the most. Basic, but not irritating. Except the shotgun. I despise the shotgun. Every little terrible thing about it. It has low damage and such an obnoxious sound. It's by far the worst thing about the game. The enemy cues are great. Being able to know what's waiting in a room from any position and being able to think of a game plan in seconds is really well done. The death sounds are fun and nostalgic and make my inner child shine bright. The graphics of the Steam version are perfect. Retro, but still visually appealing without being pixel sprites. Enemies have depth and the models are fun to look at. Blowing a monster up and running through the gore while it's flying everywhere is so satisfying. Quake was such a surprise. I've heard good things, but isn't brought up anywhere near as much as it should be. I had a great time and I highly recommend it. You can get it on sale for pennies on the dollar. You have no excuse not to give it a try if you have the time. I was planning on ending the video at the base game, but I decided to give out the expansions a try, and man, I wasn't disappointed. Scourge of Armagon comes out a year later and shows just what's capable in the engine. It's better in every single aspect. The lighting and shadows get a massive overhaul. The map layouts are well thought out. Enemy placement is just straight up superior. The difficulty is brutal. They know you've already played Quake, and they want to ramp it up to 11. I found myself struggling by the second episode. Every fight mattered. Gone are the times of running through a level without a care. You need to pay attention to rooms, where those key doors are located, and wondering what's lurking behind every corner. 2 new enemy types and 2 new weapons. A whole new score. It's really ambitious. The hype in 1997 had to be insane. I don't understand how this game holds up so well. It's truly lightning in a bottle. The levels became more intricate. Less going from point A to point B, and more walking around a full-fledged map sprinkled with a little bit of spice. Little rooms with environmental storytelling instead of generic rooms that are blocked out together. Which isn't a knock from the base game, those are well done, these are just more intelligent and nuanced. The passion seeps through more. You can see the expertise and knowledge of the engine come together. Quake was like that foxy grandma when you were 12 and finding your sexuality. A leopard print thong, a big ass wig, tons of wrinkles, but those came from the life of a party. She may be old school and smells like cigarettes, but Granny could still hang with any of these kids. Out smoking, out drinking, out gunning, and showing up and showing the fuck out. Quake was a blast, bro.